Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah.
We love to take these super interesting research papers and really break them down. And this one you guys sent in is, well, it looks really complex.
Yeah, I can see why the title might be a little intimidating.
Right. O1 Pruner. Length harmonizing fine-tuning for O1 like reasoning pruning. What does that even mean?
It's all about AI.
Yeah.
And specifically those large language models.
LLMs? Okay, yeah, those things are everywhere now.
Exactly. They're the brains behind so many of the technologies we use every day.
Like chatbots and, what else?
And things like machine translation and even those personalized recommendations you get online.
Oh, right. So basically, LLMs are what make AI seem, well, intelligent.
Yeah, they're designed to process and understand information just like we do. But the thing is, well, this paper suggests that sometimes they think a little too much.
Too much?
Right.
How's that even possible?
Well, think of it this way. Imagine you're trying to solve a simple puzzle.
Okay, I'm picturing it. Now imagine that instead of just finding the solution, you start overthinking it, going down all these rabbit holes and exploring every possible option, even the totally irrelevant ones.
Oh, yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm trying to remember something simple.
Exactly. And that's kind of what's happening with some LLMs. They can get bogged down in all the details and end up taking way longer to solve a problem than they need to.
So they're like the ultimate overthinkers.
In a way,
Yeah,
yes. And that's what the researchers are trying to address with this O1 Pruner method.
So it's like a way to streamline their thinking, make them more efficient.
Exactly. It's all about finding that sweet spot between accuracy and efficiency.
Okay, I'm starting to get the big picture. But before we dive into the specifics, I'm curious about this whole long thought reasoning thing they talk about in the paper.
Ah, yes. That's a key concept here.
So is that how LLMs are supposed to work, like thinking things through step by step?
Yeah, it's a relatively new approach in AI, where models are trained to mimic the way humans solve problems, breaking things down into smaller steps.
So they're like little AI detectives.
Huh. I like that analogy.
But then sometimes they get lost in the case.
Right. They might start exploring all these unnecessary leads and getting sidetracked. That's where the inefficiency comes in.
Okay. So we've got these detective-like AIs, but sometimes they need a little help staying focused.
And that's where this O1 Pruner comes in.
Right. We'll have to get into that. But first, to really understand the problem they're trying to solve, can you tell me more about this experiment they did with the math problems?
Sure. They basically wanted to see how these LLMs would approach solving math problems of varying difficulty.
So like a math test for AI. I'm intrigued.
Yeah. They used two LLMs specifically designed for this kind of step-by-step reasoning.
Okay, which ones?
Marco O1 and QWQ32B.
Those names sound intense.
They're pretty high-tech.
Yeah.
But basically, they gave these models a bunch of math problems and watched how they went about solving them.
What happened? Were they able to crack the code?
Oh, they were definitely up for the challenge.
Yeah.
Both models were able to solve the problems. But here's the thing. They came up with solutions of varying length.
Like some were short and sweet, and others were super long and complicated.
Exactly. And that's what led them to this concept of length disharmony.
So the length of the solution was somehow related to how efficient the AI was.
Right. And this is where it gets really interesting. What they found was that the shorter solutions were often just as accurate as the longer ones.
Wait, so the AIs were sometimes wasting a lot of energy on steps that didn't even matter.
That's the key insight.
Wow, so it's like work smarter, not harder, applies to AI too. I guess even super intelligent machines can benefit from a little efficiency boost.
Exactly. And that's where this O1 Pruner comes in.
Right, that thing with the crazy name, it's like a personal trainer for AI, right?
Yeah.
Helping it find the most elegant solution possible.
That's a great way to put it.
So instead of letting the AI wander around in a maze of possibilities, O1 Pruner helps it cut to the chase, find the most direct route, and basically just get to the point.
Precisely.
I love that. Okay, so we've got this training method that sounds pretty promising, but did they actually put it to the test? How did they know that it really works?
Oh, they definitely put it through its paces.
Like how?
They tested O1 Pruner on a variety of math problem data sets, math, GSM-8K, and Gaokao, with different levels of difficulty.
So they really wanted to challenge these AIs, huh?
Right. And to see how it stacked up, they also compared it to other approaches like just telling the LLM to solve the problem as quickly as possible or training it on shorter, correct solutions.
Okay, so it was like a real AI training showdown, O1 Pruner versus the other methods.
Exactly.
So who emerged victorious?
Well, the results were pretty impressive.
Tell me everything.
O1 Pruner consistently outperformed all the other methods.
No way. So it really works.
Yeah, it achieved both higher accuracy and shorter solutions across the board.
So not only did it solve the problems correctly, but it did it with style and efficiency. But how did they actually measure this improvement? Was it just a matter of opinion, or was there a more objective way to assess it?
They used a clever metric called the Accuracy Efficiency Score, or AES.
AES, catchy.
It basically takes into account both the accuracy of the solution and how long it took the model to get there. A higher score means the AI found that sweet spot, the perfect balance between being right and being concise.
Got it. And drumroll, please. How did O1 Pruner score?
It scored the highest. And not just by a little bit. Either O1 Pruner consistently demonstrated a significant advantage over the other methods, proving that this approach really does lead to a more efficient AI.
That's incredible. It sounds like this O1 Pruner has the potential to revolutionize the way we develop and train AI. But did they only test it on these smaller math problems, or did they try it on anything more complex?
They actually tested on a really large LLM called QWQ32B.
QWQ-32B. Okay, you're going to have to remind me what that one is again.
Yeah, it's one of those super advanced large language models.
Okay, right. Those things are evolving so fast, it's hard to keep up. So how did O1 Pruner perform on this QWQ thing?
The results were just as impressive. Even on a model that massive, O1 Pruner was able to significantly reduce processing time without sacrificing accuracy.
So it's not just a theoretical concept, it actually works in the real world, even with these huge, complex AI systems.
Exactly. And it gets even more interesting. Remember how they tested O1 Pruner on problems of varying difficulty?
You mentioned that earlier.
Well, they discovered that O1 Pruner actually enabled the AI to adjust its thinking process based on the complexity of the problem.
Wait, so it's like the AI is developing a sense of strategy, knowing when to dive deep and when to keep things short and sweet.
Exactly.
That's incredible. It's almost like the AI is developing metacognition, a kind of self-awareness of its own thinking process. This is blowing my mind.
It is pretty remarkable, and it has some pretty profound implications for the future of AI.
Okay, I'm ready for part 2. So if we can teach AI to be more efficient in its thinking, who knows what other cognitive abilities we might be able to enhance.
Right. It's really pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
Okay, now my mind is really spinning. We've gone from talking about AI solving math problems to pondering the future of intelligence itself. But before we get too carried away, I want to make sure we've covered all the bases. Is there anything else about this Owen Pruner research that you think is important for our listeners to understand?
Well, one thing that I found really interesting was how they tested O1 Pruner on data sets with varying levels of difficulty. It wasn't just about making AI faster. It was about making it smarter in how it approaches different challenges.
Right, like it was learning to adapt its strategy based on the complexity of the task at hand.
Exactly.
Mm,
And that seems like a crucial step towards developing AI that can truly understand and respond to the nuances of the real world.
for sure. It's one thing to solve a math problem in a controlled environment, but out in the real world, things are way more unpredictable.
Absolutely. And the fact that this approach worked so well, even on a massive LLM like QWQ32B, suggests that it has the potential to scale up and be applied to a wide range of AI applications.
So it's not just a theoretical breakthrough, it's something that could have a real-world impact in the near future.
I definitely think so. This research opens up a lot of possibilities for developing AI that's not only powerful, but also efficient, adaptable, and ultimately more beneficial to humanity.
Okay, so we've established that efficient AI is a good thing. But for our listener out there who might be wondering, why should I care about all of this? Can you give me some concrete examples? How could this actually impact our lives?
Sure. Think about areas like education. Imagine a world where AI can help you learn a new language faster by tailoring the lessons to your exact level of understanding.
Wow, so instead of those one-size-fits-all language learning apps, we could have AI tutors that adapt to our individual needs.
Exactly. Or imagine AI assisting doctors in diagnosing diseases earlier and more accurately.
Okay, yeah, that would be huge. Early detection is key for so many health conditions.
Right? And with more efficient AI, we could potentially process vast amounts of medical data and identify patterns that humans might miss.
Leading to better treatment outcomes and potentially even saving lives.
It's really quite incredible to think about the possibilities.
It is, but of course, with any new technology, especially something as powerful as AI, there are always concerns.
Oh, absolutely. We have to be mindful of the potential risks and
Yeah.
make sure we're developing AI responsibly.
Right. Like some people worry about AI becoming too powerful, too independent.
I understand those concerns. But it's important to remember that the research we're discussing today focuses specifically on making AI more efficient at solving the problems we give it. It's not about creating AI that can think for itself or make its own decisions.
Okay, that makes sense. It's about making AI a more effective tool, not about replacing human intelligence altogether.
Exactly, and I think that's a really important distinction to make.
I agree. It's all about finding that balance between leveraging the power of AI while still maintaining human control and oversight.
Right? And that's why research like this is so crucial. It
Yeah.
helps us understand how to make AI work better for us, not against us.
Well said. It sounds like this research is a real game changer, pushing us closer to a future where AI can help us solve some of the world's most pressing challenges.
I couldn't agree more. And I'm really excited to see what other breakthroughs emerge in the coming years.
Me too. This whole conversation has really sparked my curiosity. I feel like I've only just scratched the surface of this fascinating world of AI.
Oh, there's so much more to explore. And
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it. AI is constantly evolving, and there's always something new to learn.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one big takeaway you want our listener to walk away with?
Hmm, that's a tough one. But I think the main message here is that AI is becoming increasingly powerful, but it's also becoming more efficient and adaptable. This means we're moving towards a future where AI can help us solve complex problems in ways we never thought possible while still remaining under our control.
And just imagine the possibilities. From personalized education to revolutionary medical breakthroughs, efficient AI could transform countless aspects of our lives.
Exactly. And this research on O1 Pruner is a major step in that direction.
It's really an exciting time to be following the world of AI.
It is. And for our listener out there, if this deep dive has sparked your curiosity, I encourage you to delve deeper into this fascinating world. There's so much to discover and explore.
Well said. And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to make the next big breakthrough.
Haha, I love that.
This is why I love these deep dives. We start with this seemingly technical research paper about pruning AI, and we end up uncovering these profound insights into the nature of intelligence itself. It's pretty mind-blowing.
It really is, and it speaks to the broader impact of this research.
Hmm.
If we can teach AI to be more efficient in its thinking, what other human skills might it be able to learn in the future?
That's a fascinating question, and it kind of makes you wonder, what is intelligence anyway? Is it just about processing information quickly and accurately, or is there something more to it?
That's a great question, and one that philosophers and scientists have been grappling with for centuries.
And it seems like with the rise of AI, these questions are becoming even more relevant.
Definitely. As AI continues to evolve, we're going to have to keep asking ourselves these tough questions about what it means to be intelligent, what it means to be human, and how we want to shape the future of this incredible technology.
It's a lot to think about, but I think it's important that we have these conversations because ultimately the future of AI is up to us.
I agree. And I think the more we understand about AI, the better equipped we'll be to make informed decisions about its development and use.
Well said. And I think that's a perfect note to end on. So for our listeners out there, if you're as fascinated by this as we are, I encourage you to keep exploring the world of AI. There's so much to learn, so much to discover, and who knows, maybe you'll be the one to develop the next generation of thinking machines.
Exactly. And remember, the best way to stay informed is to keep deep diving into the research and engage in thoughtful conversations about the potential and implications of this incredible technology.
Absolutely. Well, that's a wrap for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. And until next time, keep those minds curious.
Yeah, it really makes you think, doesn't it? Like, where does all this lead?
Right. If we can teach AI to be more efficient in its thinking, what's next? What other human skills might it pick up along the way?
It's a question that a lot of researchers are asking right now, and it's something that we should all be thinking about too.
Because the future of AI is ultimately up to us, right?
Exactly. We have the power to shape how this technology develops and how it's used.
So it's not just about the technical stuff, it's also about the ethical and societal implications.
Absolutely. We have to be mindful of the potential risks and make sure we're developing AI in a way that benefits humanity as a whole.
That's a great point. I mean, AI has the potential to do so much good in the world.
Oh, definitely. Think about things like personalized medicine and developing new renewable energy sources. AI could really help us tackle some of the biggest challenges we face.
But it could also be misused, right? Like we've all seen those sci-fi movies where AI takes over the world.
Right. And those scenarios are definitely something to be aware of. But I think it's important to remember that AI is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
So it all comes down to how we choose to use it.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to have these conversations about the ethical implications of AI.
Yeah,
We need to be thinking about these things now before it's too late.
absolutely. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one big takeaway you want our listener to walk away with today?
Hmm, that's a tough one. But I think if I had to choose just one, it would be this. AI is an incredibly powerful tool with the potential to transform our world in countless ways. But it's up to us to make sure that it's used for good.
Well said. We need to approach AI development with both excitement and caution.
Exactly. We need to be aware of the potential risks, but also embrace the incredible possibilities that AI offers.
Because ultimately, AI has the power to make our lives better, to solve problems that we never thought we could solve, and to create a future that's more just sustainable and prosperous for everyone.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Awesome. Well, that's a wrap for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep those minds curious.